February is the shortest month in the calendar, but oh man, what an overwhelming month. Personally, it's been a really trying month for me. I don't know, it's just several weeks, but so many things have happened. For every difficult day that I've had for this month, I always said a prayer of thanks that I had really realistic goals for the February TBR. I am so glad and grateful that I've only really kept it at 3 books max. So, you know, even if things are not always sunshine and rainbows and positivity in my life personally, I'm just so relieved that at least I could rely and find comfort on the book selections that I've had for this month, because these 3 books are such quality reads and the writing have all been really good in these 3 books. So yeah, thanks for clicking and for watching this quick chat about my February wrap-up. The first book that I read for the month is Kind of Cruelty by Araminta Hall. This is a psychological thriller about desire and obsession. Those are the only things that I know going into this book. And, you know, as a hard advocate of the no spoiler principle, I stand by what I believe in, that when it comes to thrillers, it's always best to go into it with as minimal information as possible. Nevertheless, it's still the kind of thriller that I am so itching to gush about and discuss, and just really, you know, it's hard because I'm bound to spoil something if I say anything about this book. But I guess all I can guarantee is that this is a special kind of thriller because of the social commentary that it also contains. I gave Kind of Cruelty 5 out of 5 stars. This made me an instant fan of Araminta Hall, and I can't wait for all her other works that I would definitely look forward to. Also, what I can tell you for sure is that every single blurb here by a lot of really prominent thriller writers, everything they said about this book is absolutely legit. They're being honest. Gillian Flynn, the author of Gone Girl, whether or not you like Gone Girl, you have to admit that work is iconic, right? She says that this is simply one of the nastiest and most disturbing thrillers I've read in years. And she loved it right down to the utterly chilling final line. I agree. This one made me undergo so many emotions so intensely. And I never expected a thriller to make me so sad and so angry towards the end. Impressive. The second book that I read for the month is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This is a fantasy novel about a woman who believes in true love and happy endings, who strikes a deal with the Prince of Hearts in order to stop the marriage of her beloved. I did say on my February TBR video that the concept I was going for was books about questionable relationships, and out of all the 3 books that I've read for this month, this I think embodied that the most. Like, Our Kind of Cruelty is questionable because the relationship dynamic here is problematic and toxic, for sure. But in Once Upon a Broken Heart, It's questionable because it's confusing. After several days of being so torn and so conflicted about it, I have decided to still give this book 4 out of 5 stars. On the sheer excellence of the writing style, which definitely suited my type of writing, and the really exceptional world building that's demonstrated on this book. The plot is okay. It's just really the characters that I had some issues with, because it felt like the author really wanted them to be a destruction of stereotypes, but somewhat it felt like she couldn't decide whether to go all out about it. So it just felt so half-hearted at some point. But I still definitely appreciate all the efforts that Stephanie Garber did in order to incorporate some aspects in the personalities of her characters that made it somewhat different from what we usually read in fantasy books. Like, we're so used to reading about, the badass girl boss types of female protagonists, which I also really love and adore. I guess it's just so refreshing to finally read a fantasy book featuring a protagonist who is so unashamed and gives no apologies for being a hopeless romantic, and whose desire is to really find her one true love. And she would really go the extra mile for it. At the end of the day, what really redeemed this book for me, and what made me decide to give Once Upon a Broken Heart 4 stars, is the message that Stephanie Garber wanted to come across. Because ultimately, this is not really a romance story. This is not a story about our protagonist finding the one. This is a story about her being so in love with the idea of finding the one, and how she realized that and got over it. Gotta respect a journey of self-awareness and growth, right? The third and final book that I read for February is Alice Hoffman's The Marriage of Opposites. This is a multi-generational story featuring several individuals and different families whose lives are interconnected, spanning across years and years and years of their lives. This is the very first book that I have annotated for 2022. The Queen deserves, right? This is definitely a book that I wanted to properly engrave in my memory because of how beautiful, how powerful, and how memorable it is. Among all the books that I read for this month, this is the book that has the best characters, the best plot, and I would say the best writing style. So, of course, it's not a shocker, and as predicted, I have given this book a perfect 5 stars. In the reading vlog that I have created for this book, I have read out several excerpts just to, give examples of how gorgeous the writing has been in this book. But really, there is so much waiting for anyone who is gonna pick up this story. Highly recommend. And I think most importantly, The Marriage of Opposites has achieved something that only really exceptional books do. Or only exceptional books can have this effect on me, which is to inspire me to go back to writing. Thank you, Alice Hoffman. These are the February books that I have enjoyed for this month. very quality reads, and I really feel so satisfied that I get to tick off my read romance goal for this year. Let's hope I can read some more. What is your favorite book for the month of February? And do you have an opinion on books about questionable relationships? I hope you've had an amazing month. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. See you in March!